Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're looking at the new Thorn MM200 homage, or at least I think it is. Seiko has some pretty confusing names, but Thorn is a relatively new brand out there, at least a new name out of China. I've found ties to both Heimdallr and Shiryu. So take that for what it is. It is nice that they're actually using a name that I can pronounce. So yeah, this watch is available from multiple retailers on AliExpress. I purchased it from the Watch Collector store for $143 during the 11/11 sale. Retail price is about $160, and that might just be for this PVD version. I think this is a little bit more expensive than the stainless steel one. So the watch is offered in 6 different colorways. They have the PVD black that you see here, and then there's also a stainless steel case with your choice of a green dial, a blue dial, a yellow dial, and either a black or white mother of pearl patchwork dial is what they call it. And in my opinion, there isn't a bad looking combo there. They all look really, really good, and they actually bring something interesting to the table finally. So it's nice to see a few different options there. So what do you get for your money? You get a full 316L stainless steel case, sapphire crystal. You get a nice fitted rubber strap. You get a screw down crown and screw down case back with 200 meters of water resistance, and the watch is powered by a Seiko NH35 movement. So is this new brand worth taking the risk on? Let's find out. So first things first, as always, start out with the dimensions. And like I mentioned, this is a Marine Master 200 case, so not the Marine Master 300. I did review the Marine Master 300 a while back from Heimdallr and thought it was awesome, but just a little too big. So this one, it is 42 millimeters in diameter. You get a thickness of about 13.8 millimeters. You got 20 millimeter lug width and a maximum lug to lug length of 48.6. So 42 millimeters by 48 millimeters. It's really good size. It's got the Seiko kind of style to the lugs as well. So you can see here, you got a really nice profile, nice curvature to those lugs there. They do curve down quite a bit and hug the wrist just really nicely. So I think it was 13.8 millimeters thick. It definitely does not wear 13.8 millimeters thick. So just keep that in mind. And that 48 millimeter lug tip to lug tip, it is from, the longest distance. So from here down to here, it doesn't take into consideration that there is quite a bit of chamfering going on here. So it definitely doesn't wear like a 48 or 49 millimeter watch. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. So here it is on my 7.5 inch wrist. And you can see still a very manageable size, and throw in the fact that this thing just conforms to the wrist like it's just perfect in my opinion. Yeah, it's a very wearable size, so very happy with the way it wears. You do get some reflections off that crystal, but that's just with any domed sapphire crystal. You get tons of reflections. I think it does a pretty good job of cutting down on those reflections, and it is a very comfortable case. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But yeah, it just looks good. I like it. It's a very stealth look to it, especially with this this rubber strap. So out in some direct sunlight, you can see, I'm pretty sure it's a real carbon fiber dial. It does give some depth to the dial. We'll talk about that again in just a little bit. Direct sunlight, you can see there that the air coating and just the sapphire crystal just does a really good job of cutting down reflections. Totally legible, and yeah, I've got no problems with it. It does look really good. But I'm going to go throw it on some straps for us, and then we can get back to the review. Here we are on a brown suede strap. Not something I would normally wear with this type of watch, but I just think the contrast does look pretty awesome. So figured why not give it a shot, just to give you guys some color options, I guess. So I'm going to go throw this on a couple more straps and we'll get back to the review. And here we are on an orange silicone strap that I think looks really good with that orange minute hand. Really makes it stand out, I think. Looks really, really good. Super comfortable. And I mean, the curvature on this case is excellent. Just really, really good. Love the way it sits. I'm going to go throw it on one more strap and we'll get back to the review. And here we are on just a gray double pass NATO strap. I do kind of like this one actually. Looks really good. I like the gray and the black. I think gives it a pretty rugged look to it. I need to get something with some PVD hardware though, apparently. But yeah, it does look really good. Let me know what you guys think. Which one do you like on the best? But let's go back inside and finish up this review. So I'm going to do my absolute best to kind of talk to you guys about the case finishing on this thing. Just keep in mind it is pretty difficult to do so on a PVD watch. But I expect this thing to be at the same quality as something like a Heimdallr. It looks really good as it is, but you know, maybe those polished surfaces are going to be slightly different on the stainless steel case, but I think you're going to be happy with it either way. So let's get to it. So first things first, you do have a brushed surface on the top of the lug here. You have polished on the end of the lug, polished chamfer that runs all the way along here. Nice big chamfers. It does look really good. I mean, I can't see any imperfections in the polishing, but again, it's PVD. You do have this really narrow band that runs from this lug all the way across to this lug here, and you do have drilled lugs. Polishing looks good. The brushing, I think, looks excellent. It's nice and fine. And then on the bottom of that case side here, you also have more polishing. And again, it just looks really good. And if you can see here, so this watch is sitting on your wrist here. You got this nice big undercut here. Seiko does a really good job with all their cases to do this, and it makes the case so much more comfortable because that's kind of when you're bending your wrist, you don't have anything really digging into it. So it sits really, really nicely done, really, really nice on your wrist. And then you've got a not quite a 4 o'clock crown, so I think it's a proper 3.8 o'clock crown. It does look really good. Nice. It's not guarded at all. And so it's nice and easy to grip. It's unsigned there, as you can see, but it does look really good. The case back on this thing, I just don't get it. So it is a simple tool to remove the case back. It is a screw down case back. You have the Thorn branding etched in there. You have a black rose, which is unusual. And then you have where there is a will, there is a way. And that's kind of their slogan, I guess. Yeah, I don't get it. I guess they're trying to do something a little bit different. It's a case back, so it doesn't really bother me, but just it could be better. I did want to pop off the strap real quick just to kind of show you guys. You get this really unusual step here, and I think that is to help with this strap. You can see there's quite a big step in that strap there, so that kind of fits under there and then fits up in there. It's really unique. I've never noticed it on another case, so I figured I'd just point it out to you guys. Not a negative at all. It definitely does help let you get some pretty thick straps on this thing, so that's nice to see. And while I have this strap off, I want to show you these spring bars. Look at those. I mean, those are the chunkiest spring bars I've seen. I'm pretty sure these are those just the fat bars that you see on other watches, but it is nice to see that that they're using these big chunky shoulderless spring bars. So it's a good thing that it does have the drilled lugs, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to get that out. So just wanted to mention that. So let's talk about the bezel. So you have a coin edge bezel here. I believe it's all polished. Looks really good. I don't see any imperfections in it. Nice sharp polishing. Nice sharp machining on the bezel teeth. Lots and lots of grip. It is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Very satisfying sounding clicks. You have even resistance all the way through. It kind of feels like a like the Addy's Dive Willard. It's very smooth, but nice and clicky action. You've got no back play or anything like that. It lines up really good. I'm really happy with the bezel action on it. The bezel insert is a ceramic bezel insert. You can see it is, I think it's ever so slightly sloped. And I think they also kind of they either rounded the face of it or rounded the corners of it. It just looks a little bit more soft than something like just a plain flat ceramic bezel. So it does look really good. All the markers here are filled with white paint. It is non-luminous. So the only thing that is loomed on the bezel insert itself is the lume pip, which, as you can see here, is ever so slightly shifted to the right. I didn't even notice that until I started shooting the video. So yeah, it is off just a little bit. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the bezel. All right, let's talk about the crystal. So the crystal is sapphire crystal, as you can see. It is a double dome crystal, lots and lots of AR. It is a slight blue tint to it, but it's really not that bad, not that noticeable. And as you saw in my outdoor shots earlier, it does a really good job of cutting down on reflections. I'm really happy with the crystal on it. And you can see even like extreme angles here, you can still read the time. I mean, that's kind of crazy. It almost gives it that like oil-filled look to it. There's no distortion whatsoever on it. It's just a really good crystal, really good crystal. So let's talk about the dial on this. So the dial, really nicely done. So this one on the PVD model, it is a carbon fiber dial. It looks like real carbon fiber. It kind of plays with the light differently depending on how you tilt it and stuff. So I believe it's real carbon fiber. It's hard to tell though. You have the Thorn branding there with a unfortunate font, I think. It looks almost like Comic Sans. It does not look good. They need to come up with something. Just simple text would be a lot better. Then you have automatic divers 200 meter. The divers in front of 200 meters means that it is officially certified, and I don't believe it is. That's just something they carried over from the Seikos, so just keep that in mind. It should be fine for swimming though. I don't doubt that one bit. All the applied indices are done nicely. They're done really nicely, actually. I believe on this PVD version, they are kind of a gunmetal color. On the other ones, they are just a simple silver polished, and they look really good. You do have a framed date window at 3 o'clock, and the date does sit just a little bit low. It hasn't obscured the date at all, and it does, for the most part, it looks fine. I don't really notice it. The handset on this is a set of Marine Master style hands. On this black version, you have the orange minute hand and the orange stoplight hand. I believe they're just polished silver hands on the other models with no colored lume in them, except you do have a red stoplight on that second hand. But on this one, it's just kind of a little bit funky. So they went with the orange minute hand and the orange stoplight. It does look really good. I think they're really nicely sized. Nice thick hour hand there. The minute hand reaches right out to the minute track. The second hand reaches right out to the second track. And as you can see on the second hand on this version, you have a little white tip to it. So just a nice little detail. Overall, I think the proportions, the alignment, all that stuff, really good from Thorn. Very happy with it. The lume on this model, the lume on the dial is excellent. I'm going to pop up a lume shot right now. You can see the lume on the dial. It works really good. Lasts all night long. Really happy with it. But unfortunately, the hands are fading almost immediately, and they're just not as good as the dial for some reason. Now, I will say, according to the pictures online, the lume on the normal silver hands does look a little bit better. So hopefully it is just this the black hands here that are for some reason not applied as nicely. I know that orange lume doesn't last as long anyway, so but even the hour hand is not done really well. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully the other hands are just as good as the dial, because the lume on the dial is fabulous. So let's talk about the movement in this. So like I mentioned earlier, it is the Seiko NH35 operated by this 3 o'clock screw down crown. Yeah, I've got no problems with the screw in or screw out action. Really nice. The first position, the hand winds it nice and smooth. Second position changes the date. Third position will hack the movement. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I'm a fan of the NH35. It is accurate, it is reliable, it is affordable, easy to maintain, easy to find parts for, easy to replace. I got nothing bad to say about the NH35. So yeah, really happy they're using that. So let's talk about the strap options on this. So it does come with different colored straps for different dial colors. This one is just a plain black strap here. You can see it is kind of preformed to the wrist. It's nice and thick up here, very solid. The spring bars in it, like I mentioned earlier, are just huge. Really comfortable strap, nice and flexible, and it doesn't pick up any lint or anything like that. So really happy to see that. It is branded with the Thorn branding on it. It comes with this one comes with a black PVD buckle. It is unsigned. I expect the other ones to be stainless steel. It looks like it's a brush buckle. You have 2 floating keepers here, so you shouldn't have any problems keeping this strap in place. My only complaint about the strap is that it's a little too long. It's hard to measure with this kind of curved one though. I would guess that it fits from like a 7-inch wrist to like a 9-inch wrist. So if you have something under 7 inches, this strap is probably not going to work for you. Luckily, it does look good on other straps. So yeah, you shouldn't have any problems finding something that works for you. So there you have it, guys. That is the Thorn Marine Master 200 homage. I'm pretty happy with it overall, minus the poor Lume on the hands and the kind of weird branding with the font there and whatever's going on the case back here. But I did want a PVD watch in my collection, and I think this one's going to stay. It looks really good. I do like it. I do like it a lot, actually. So if you are interested in picking this one up, I'll be leaving a link to the store that I purchased it from. They had the cheapest price at the time. That's not necessarily true all the time, so just keep that in mind. About $155 to $160 is the normal retail price of this thing, but they do drop on some of the sales. So yeah, just keep your eye out for them. If you want to see some more pictures of this, we'll be leaving my Instagram account down below. Go check that out. I'm going to be keeping this around for a little bit, so you might see it pop up from time to time. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and I'll do my absolute best to get back to you guys. I do like conversing with you guys in the comment section on these videos, and yeah, I like it. I have fun. I think that's about it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.